Yo, what up? Welcome to the podcast, everybody. If one person makes double the money, is 50-50 really fair? Or is that equality without consideration? And bigger question, why wasn't this conversation had before signing the lease agreement, baby? Let's get into it, baby. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What up, everybody? I'm Ben. This is Mike Manifestations Podcast, guys, and thanks for tuning in. Today, we're talking about money in relationships. And money isn't just math. It's security. It's independence. It's pride. It's fear. It's power. And when couples move in together, those conversations should happen before the keys are in your hand, not after. Right? Let's have that conversation before we get them keys, baby. Let's do it. So it's time for Mic Drop Confessions. This is where you send in the real stuff. Relationship tension, financial stress, the things people argue about quietly. No judgment, just real talk, baby. Let's get into Michelle's story. So Michelle wrote in. Are you guys waiting? Michelle wrote in and said, my boyfriend and I are moving out of my mom's house into a new apartment. Rent is $2,000. I'm in training, making $16 an hour. He makes about $31 an hour. At my mom's house, I was paying utilities. Now he wants us to split rent 50-50. Is that fair? When he makes almost double what I make? Let's slow this down, baby. Let's slow this down. $2,000 rent means $1,000 each, right? If she's making $16 an hour full time, that's roughly $2,500 before taxes a month. He's closer to about $5,000 before taxes. So yes, 50-50 is equal, but the impact isn't equal. You know? For her, that could be close to half her take-home pay. For him, it might be closer to a quarter. That's equal payment, but not equal pressure. Right? How many of you guys been pressured like this, baby? Let me know in the comments. So why would he want 50-50? Now let's be fair. You know, there are reasons he might feel strongly about splitting everything evenly. Maybe he was raised to believe if we both live there, we both pay half. To him, 50-50 might represent equality, independence, shared responsibilities. It might not be selfish. It might be principle. Or maybe he doesn't want to feel financially responsible for someone else long term. But he should have thought of that way back then, right? Or maybe, and this matters, he didn't fully think, he fully didn't think it through, you know? He didn't fully think through the impact that this is going to have on their relationship, on their bond, on everything else. Sometimes people say 50-50 because it sounds fair on paper, right? Without actually running the numbers emotionally. You know, so it's crazy. What that conversation probably sounded like, it probably wasn't dramatic. It might have been simple. You know, for him, you know, rent's $2,000, so we'll just split it down the middle. For her, okay, but I'm only making $16 an hour right now. Him, he's like, well, we both live there. It should be half. You know, nobody yelling, nobody being evil. Just two different definitions of fairness. You know, he's talking about equal dollars. She's talking about equal comfort. So what's equality versus equity? This is where couples get stuck. Equality means same amount. Equity means same level of strain. If he makes roughly double, a proportional split might look like he covers 65 to 70%. She covers 30 to 35%. You know, but both are contributing. Neither of them feels suffocated. And that's not freeloading. That's teamwork. You know, let's say that again. That's teamwork. Because here's the truth. 50-50 only works when both people feel stable. If one partner feels stressed every month while the other is comfortable, just chilling, that's not balance. That's resentment waiting to grow. And then let's throw this in, the mom factor. Now here's another layer Michelle mentioned. He's very close to his mom. So we have to ask, are these his beliefs? Or are they inherited beliefs from his mom? You know, maybe his mom taught him, hey, don't carry someone financially. Make sure she pays her half. Equal means respect. And listen, advice from family isn't bad. But once you're building a household with someone, the relationship becomes the primary team. Outside voices can give their perspective. They don't get to make the final decision. If he's prioritizing what his mom would approve of over what his partner needs, that's not about rent anymore. You know, that's about boundaries now. You know, you got to set that boundary. You know, should this have been discussed earlier? Of course. Before apartment hunting, before signing that lease agreement, before moving that heavy ass furniture, you know, that you gotta pay another what, $500-600 if you're lucky for movers to move it. You know, financial expectations should be crystal clear at that point. You know, if this conversation is happening after the lease is signed, that's not a money issue anymore. That's a communication issue. And that's fixable. But it requires honesty. So this is the mic drop moment. Michelle, listen up. Here's the real question. Does this feel like partnership to you? Or does it feel like pressure? A healthy relationship allows flexibility during growth seasons. You know, you're in training right now. You're building. If he believes in the long-term vision with you, supporting you temporarily right now shouldn't feel like a burden to him. But this also means you need to communicate clearly, not emotionally. And that conversation usually is something like, you know, I want this to feel fair for both of us. Right now, I'm making less. Would you be open to splitting proportionally until my income increases? You know, it's calm, direct, respectful. That opens dialogue instead of defense. You know, you don't ever want to put them on the defense. You know, now I want to hear from you guys. What's your situation? Do you and your partner split 50-50? Do you do the proportional basis? Do you split based on your income? Does one person carry more? And would you allow outside voices like parents to influence that decision? Drop it in the comments. Let's have a real conversation, baby. Let me know what your guys' situation is. What you guys think. Should they be going 50-50? Should he be paying 70%, 75% of the total bills till she gets back up on her feet? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. With that, guys, quick pause. Today's episode is sponsored by W Energy. Money conversations requires clarity, not emotional overload. With W, it gives you clear focus without the crash. So head over to www.dubby.gg and use our promo code Mike Manifestation Podcast 24 for 10% off your entire order today, guys. If you guys want to be featured as a sponsor on this show, on the podcast, send in your sponsorship. Let me know what you guys want to promote. Would you guys want to be sponsored? We'll go ahead and sponsor you, put you on the show here. And I want to take a second to say something real, man. As of today, we're at 353 subscribers, baby. God damn. That's hey, it might seem like a little. To me, it's a lot, man. Starting from 0 to 353 subscribers in what? A year and some change? I don't know. For me, I think it's kind of impressive, and none of this would have happened without you guys. And that growth has been happening fast, bro. I mean, our last episode or the week before that, we were like 150, 130, 150, somewhere around there. And we're at 353 now. That's crazy, bro. That just tells me that these conversations matter and that people are actually listening. That this space is building something meaningful. You know, so once again, like I said, I just want to say thank you guys. It's been crazy, bro. I've been blown away by everything, you know, as far as this channel growing. You know, all the likes, all the subscribers, all the followers on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, you know. So yeah, man, keep like I said, share it. So, but if this episode helped you think differently or see another perspective, like the video, subscribe, and share this. Let's push towards 1,000. And then beyond that, man. I mean, like I said, there's no telling where this podcast is going to go, man. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys go 50-50? Do you guys take that in consideration as far as your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, whoever you're moving in with, I just want to say, just personally, I think the proportional way is the best way. Me and my wife don't go 50-50, especially because I make more money than she does. So, like I said, in moving in, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. Sometimes you got to, I don't want to say pick up the slack, but where those are coming in. Excuse me, man. Jesus. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. I had a car payment. I chose to sell my car pretty much to free up money, to go towards paying that additional rent and to help cover, other additional things. My car, I have a company vehicle, so I use that Monday through Friday, which is what my work week is like. So on the weekends, if we go anywhere, we would go in my car or my wife's car. And sometimes my car would just sit there in the carport, So, like I said, I just made that decision. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna sell my car. That's gonna free up my car payment. That's gonna free up insurance money as well. So that extra money can go into paying the additional rent that we, inherited, I guess you can say, as far as the new place that we moved into. But like I said, it wasn't like, no, you're paying 50-50, you're paying half the rent, I'm paying the other half. Wasn't like that. I mean, hey, there's months where, you got to pick your spouse up, and sometimes they got to pick you up, so it's a give and take on both situations, so and I'm sure when Michelle gets out of training, she's going to be making more money. So then at that time, that scenario is going to change as far as that 70-30 or 75-25, I'm sure at that time, Michelle's going to be able to pay a little bit more than what she's paying now. So it's just a temporary thing. But yeah, Michelle, I mean, a lot of people are probably saying, oh, those are red flags. He's being selfish. His mom's putting her input into the relationship. But hey, it could be that too. But, a lot of it's going to come into play, and a lot of it's going to be, it's just in the end result, it's you and her, or her and him, so you guys got to talk it through, have that communication, figure out what's going to work best for you guys in that household. Once you moved out of your mom's house, it's a whole new scenario, a whole new relationship, whole new household. You're building that new household from the ground up, you and him, and her and him. Anyways, you know what I mean. But yeah, like I said, you guys got to just, that communication, you guys got to talk it through and figure it out, Sometimes that conversation doesn't even happen. Sometimes it's like, hey, right now I'm going to pay 75% until you start, making more money, and then we'll go from there, We'll put in whatever you need to put in, and if you feel, let's just say, generous that month, hey, throw in a little change up in that rent, But yeah, like I said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share button. Let everybody know Mike Manifestations ain't playing, bro. We growing and we growing fast. And it's all thanks to you guys. It ain't me, bro. It ain't me. I'm just the messenger. But it's been you guys. You guys have been making this channel grow from 0 to 353 subscribers, guys. I appreciate the love. Make sure, like I said, hit that like, hit that subscribe, baby. Once again, my name is Ben. This is Mike Manifestation Podcast, guys. Till the next one, guys. You know, have the money conversations early. Protect your partnership. Communicate with clarity. And always stay human, baby. Stay human. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Manifestations, we out, baby. Peace. Thank you. Mike Manifestations, baby. We out. Peace.